What's going on, everybody? It is Corner to Corner live on Spreaker.com. We are live and in living color, also being videotaped right now.
That's not true. We'll get rid of the video card here for too long.
It's myself, Stan Grubb, and of course, the triple threat would not be complete without the tag team partners of Brian Taylor.
What's going on?
Rob Hefner.
What's happening?
We just finished our second unboxing video.
Second but first.
Second but first. It's our re-debut. I feel like it actually went well. We uploaded it pretty quickly. It's on YouTube right now, on our YouTube channel, so please feel free to check it out, subscribe, click the like buttons, put your comments in there, and if you're going to make fun of anything, just don't make fun of my bald spot. That's all I'm saying. It's just a spot. Not your dog spot.
Do it!
Yes. Oh, yeah. So, guys, it is the end of the year. We are only 3 days away from 2017.
Woohoo!
I, for one, look forward to being done with 2016. How about you guys?
Yeah. The hell with 2016.
Gosh, past few days have just been ridiculous. Carrie Fisher is dead and gone. Princess Leia. Her mother.
A day later.
One
Yeah,
day later.
the next
Debbie
day. The guy that played Alf
Today.
died today.
What, George Michaels.
George Michael's
Michael.
gone. Yeah.
4 days ago.
And you think about all the ones, the guy who played Scotty in the new Star Trek movies.
Yep. Anton Velchin.
Gary Shandling.
Alan Thicke.
Prince. Alan Thicke.
David Bowie.
David Bowie. I mean, tons and tons of iconic figures in our society.
Yeah.
Somebody said I saw it today online. They said that David Bowie had gone before to set up a kingdom of the ones those that he wanted, and now he's taking
them.
But they said that I read an article somewhere that Debbie Reynolds said that one of her last sentences was, "I want to go with Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go be with Carrie now." And but you know how media is. You know.
I mean, it's a tough deal to see so many people pass away throughout the year. Big iconic figures like Rob mentioned. But that's not really the purpose of our show. The purpose of our show this evening is more for the end of the year, kind of a look back.
This is a wrestling show, Stan.
That's right. Professional wrestling at its finest. We are the triple threat of wrestling radio. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about our favorite moments from 2016, favorite matches, maybe most surprising turns if we had some surprising heel turns out there.
Is there heels anymore?
According to James Ellsworth, there is.
Yeah, I think you should have a very few.
I mean, defined heel and faces.
Yeah, Strowman,
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, Jericho.
I wouldn't call Kevin Owens a heel.
Why is that?
Just because of the crowd response.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, yes, he does heelish things, but then he's also lately
Heelish things. I love that.
He's being
heelish. He's a little
Heelish.
heelish.
But he's doing heelish things, but he's also catering to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like in my definition of what a true heel is somebody who F the crowd, they're going to do what they want. You know,
like The Miz.
You know?
What? So, do you think we're
I would say
sliding
The Miz,
into a
but it's
different
just-
attitude there?
Hmm?
A new attitude there?
I wouldn't call it an attitude era.
The way they pandered for the crowd and nobody was good guy or bad guy.
Well, I think it's just continued, yeah.
I think the WWE doesn't like to claim a label.
I think it's because they're going to that PG, fan-friendly, family-friendly.
Yeah.
They want to, because look what they tried to do with, like, Wyatt family. And the Wyatt family backfired on them.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with the Shield. And all of a sudden, everybody started rooting for the Shield. You know, New Day. New Day was supposed to be, you know, they started out as this, you know, we're getting ours, it's our turn now type stable. And then the fans turned into a comedy act.
That's right.
The longest reigning. WWE. Sit down, Stan.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure, though, we did call that one correctly, that as soon as they broke the record, the titles was gone.
We even predicted the winner.
Because I also think the WWE, I think somebody in creative fell asleep at the wheel. and then realized after it was too late, oh crap.
Yeah, I think they like 1 or 2 months prior to it got old, but they realized what they could do, so they let it play out. And again, as soon as it was over, it was like,
well, they did the same thing with Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
You know, they did this whole thing, then they realized, wait a minute, she's held the belt because they really had, you know, who's going to take it away from her for such a short amount of time because they were going after that Divas, you know, era, and then. You got Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, and you're going, all right, it's only a matter of time. Yeah. So then, what, a week or 2 after she broke the record, Charlotte took the belt off of her?
Actually, I think it was probably the next week.
I think he's right, the next week.
I mean, because the only competition she had for years was AJ.
That's right.
I think AJ could be going on today. I think she'd be...
I think so, too. I think AJ...
SmackDown needs AJ.
Had CM Punk not exited the way he had, I think AJ could have been... She could have actually been more iconic and historic than what she is currently. I mean, she honestly could have had a Hall of Fame career. And I think her leaving so quickly actually cost her that. She had a great career, but I don't think she'll go in the Hall of Fame. Nikki Bella will go in the Hall of Fame because she broke the record. But I don't think
Nikki Bella will go in the Hall of Fame because if she's with John Cena.
Well, yeah, you know.
AJ won't go in the Hall of Fame because of CM Punk.
Yeah.
Well, I think, though, that if the WWE hadn't started firing back at CM Punk, she probably would have stayed.
True.
Because I think both of them would have, you know, just kept going just based off of the money. Mm-hmm. You know, that, okay, let her stay in the WWE as long as they leave us alone, we'll leave them alone. And I think the WWE would have left her alone. But after they started just going after Punk, why stay?
Because they've had that before where one spouse is there and the other one's not, and then they just continue to, you know.
I'll give them credit. They've lasted longer than I thought they would. Wrestling marriages don't necessarily stand out as things that last.
Well, I think one of the reasons they've lasted is because they're not in the business anymore.
True.
Because Lana and Rusev are not going to last because they're doing this angle too early in their marriage. The infidelity angle, it's never ended well for anybody in a marriage in wrestling.
Just ask Randy Savage, may he rest in peace, or Elizabeth, may she rest in peace. Never
or
mind, don't ask anyone.
Lita, or Matt Hardy, or Edge,
Broken.
or, you know, like, it has never ended well.
Well, I don't know, for Edge it ended quite well. They had sex on TV.
Yeah,
you know?
Steve Austin.
It flung him into the stratosphere.
Steve Austin, Deborah McMichael, Mongo McMichael.
Ooh,
well, even Steve and
Sable.
Joni.
Sable, Mark Marrow.
Chris Benoit, Kevin Sullivan, and Nancy.
Yeah.
Woman, yeah.
China.
See, we're not afraid to say the name. Just putting it out there.
Again, Austin, Chris Adams, and...
Jeannie Clark, yeah. His first one.
I mean, the list goes on, people.
Yeah,
you would think somebody in creative would say, you know what? Oh, but wait a minute. We're still booking from the 1980s, so...
Sometimes you're right. I see what they do sometimes, and I'm like, man, I really like what they're doing. And then other times it just is like, what the hell?
Another one, Triple H, Kane, and the Corpse. I mean, look how fast that career tanked. You know what I'm saying?
Mark Henry in the Hand.
We finally had a Katie Vick reference.
Katie Vick, there it is.
It's taken us.
Nobody even remembers her. I mean, she's not on cards. She's not in the encyclopedia.
And you'd think they would because he screwed her head off.
Yeah. She'll be in the next encyclopedia. Katie Vick, with a big mannequin head.
There's somebody in WWE headquarters going, damn it. We had thought that, that's the one thing we didn't have in the warehouse.
That could have been like the ultimate rare card for this then, now, and forever set. God. The Katie Vick.
I mean, do you think that sometimes they book with, like, you know how, like, some preachers have, like, when they have their marriage books, they have the marriage thing just laminated and they just write the names of who's getting married?
Yeah.
I wonder, do they have, like, a booking thing? Like, all right, couple one, Rusev and Lana. Well, hold on. Who's not in? Oh, let's put Enzo in there. like,
And poor Enzo, it's like he's Santino. He just gets slapped around. Like, he came in like a lion and he's getting beat out like a lamb. He's done. Rusev throws him around like a rag doll. Even Jinder Mahal, of all people.
And you get beat up. Like, come on.
But he's got Big Cass.
The thing that kept saying was, "Where's Big Cass?" You know,
in the back laughing. That ain't me.
or as my mom used to say when people got killed off of TV, "It's in the script."
Well, thank you.
You
now
know,
that
like,
we've killed it.
You watch the TV show and the big stars, like, is he going to live to see? Well, my mom would be like, yes, he's going to live, because who else is going to be in the show next week?
Your mom was always a joy to watch television.
You know, or you watch the episode and the biggest star, the bad guy, shows up and he's like the guy who's been in everything, and you're like, who killed the person? Oh, could it be the other guy who's been in like 50 things?
So let's start off as we gracefully climb back to the tracks.
My ADD kicked in. This is why.
Let's start off with the women.
The women.
NXT, we'll start there. Who was your female wrestler of the year for NXT?
For NXT?
Yes, sir.
I think there's only one.
Asuka?
Gotta be Asuka, yeah.
Hands
Asuka?
down. And I think the only reason Asuka is still in the NXT is because, one, you need that draw. You know? Because if y'all remember back when we saw wrestling at U-Haul.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or John Paul Jones. And it was so bad that they gave the audience a vote of, do you want to see a Divas tag team match? Or a Diva dance-off?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens if you take Asuka away from NXT right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you
agree.
have talent, but I just don't think they're at the point where...
I would agree that Asuka is probably their top woman in the industry right now. Well, not industry, but in NXT, maybe in the industry.
I mean, I'm interested to see what they do with Mickie James.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her come back. It really does appear to me that she's going to go to SmackDown, but she's had this deal signed for a few weeks now. She's gone through her physical and everything. Maybe. We haven't seen anything yet.
Well, I think they're probably holding back for something. Because I don't even know if they've said exactly where she's going.
We got all these different angles going. You got the really bad Carmella and, angle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole Carmella Nikki angle that didn't make sense to anything.
Well, now you've got Carmella and James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
According to this past SmackDown.
And then you got the whole who hit Nikki? And Natalya is like, no! And then, like, Natalya's supposed to have this whole, badass character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take care of you. I'm the head person here.
Yeah.
And then she runs away to the back to throw Carmella. Then she stands when she's, 200 yards away. I did it. It's like the person kicking you in the nuts, and they're 2 yards away going, I did it.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at just the the overall impact for NXT, you have to identify Asuka as the most dominant female they've got. Asuka action there, Rob. Look at it, Asuka. And that's that.
Some of them cards look like the other set.
They do. Just opened up a Divas Revolution set there that I got from Brian for Christmas. Thank you, sir. Pretty awesome. Got a authentic matte relic from this is from Peyton Royce. So this is from a match that was used. Oh, okay. So this is a piece of the mat that was used in Belfast, Northern Ireland, June 13th, 2016, number 27 of 50. Wow.
So who do you think is, like, the intern at WWE headquarters that they're like, hey, what am I going to do today? Here's a pair of scissors.
I want 50 swatches of
you see that ring?
inch by an inch.
You seeing that ring mat over there? Yeah. That's like, 50 feet by 50 feet? Yeah. Well, I want you to cut me 1 inch squares.
Before you burn the rest of it up, you need to cut it into pieces. What? I would not want that job.
I want to know, who do you have to know to get a tour of the WWE archives? Like the warehouse.
Someone told me once that you can actually go to the building and they'll give you a tour, but I don't know if there's like admission involved or what.
I'd pay it.
I would too, because just to walk through and see like the big fist from the SmackDown set and all the caskets from the Undertaker, and it's just the stuff that you've told me about, honestly. But I'd love to go through. I would want to see all the belts.
Those are they did a one of the archives where they pulled out the belts, some of the belts from the archives, because they're all in the vault.
Yeah.
Because like we've noticed, like you watch some of those like the WWE 24s. One thing I noticed is like Daniel Bryan when he won the world title.
Yeah, he put it in a
like he wanted. Yeah. He wanted. He's like yeah. And as soon as he went back behind stage, there's some dude standing there with a cabinet. Like oh no,
yeah, it goes right in there.
You ain't taking that somewhere.
You can take this replica. Here you go.
So, I've always wondered, like, you know, when you see the Miz standing out there, you know, he's like taking his videos with all those title. I wonder if it's just like the deluxe replica you can buy,
well,
or if it's the actual belt.
I think it was Bret Hart, his documentary Wrestling with Shadows, where he's in his office and you see all of his tag titles and everything. That was back when they used to just give them an actual belt, but I don't think they do it anymore. I think cost wise, it's just too expensive.
Well, if I remember right, though, when Flair was champ, he had to put down money.
Yeah, it was like $10,000.
Yeah, $10,000 or $15,000.
And that was back when the actual belt, and I think that's probably why they don't give them real belts anymore. The actual belt would show up on a competitor's show. Before the Monday Night Wars was happening, you had guys that would win the tag titles in one promotion, take them to another, and pull an Alundra Blaze and throw them in the trash can.
Or like a tag team did recently, where they won it on one of these indie promotions. They won it, and then they're like, "No, I'm not giving your belt back."
That's right. That you know what, and that's just poor business. I mean, I hate to see any of that kind of stuff happen, but
you gotta think some of these people, like, you know, they don't have it. But I mean, it's just an interesting thing. I'd like to find out. You know, once somebody would be able to tell us what, you know, because back with the Bret Hart thing that you're talking about, like I remember that video and that interview and thinking how cool it'd be to have, you know, when you turn when you get to the point of Bret Hart's career and he can turn around, he has, you know, the Stampede, Calgary Stampede titles and all those titles. Yeah. But now with the replicas, you know, hell, you can go buy one.
Well, he had the
according to Stan's room,
he had the tag titles they won from the British Bulldogs. Those were the ones that were like silver. That's
my favorite tag title.
Yeah.
If I could get a replica of that, that'd be cool.
Hey, off topic, but what do you guys think of the remade Raw tag titles? The red straps now with the silver. You think it looks better with the silver and the red, or silver and blue? Because I mean, honestly, I didn't like the penny design, is what they used to call it, because it just didn't look right. But with silver,
I don't like the design. Better. I don't like the metal design itself.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't liked it, like you said, since the penny.
Yeah.
But the blue and silver go better than the red and silver.
Yeah. I think when it comes to separating them, I like that better. Like, they're both the tag titles, but the red and the blue strap, I think it looks better on the blue also. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I'm kind of partial to the red and silver, but I don't mind the blue one.
I mean, I think it's good that they finally have started. This is the Raw title. This is the SmackDown title. They're doing what they should have done back when they first did the brand split. Because remember when they did the brand split the first time, you had the WWE champ and the world champ. You had the WWE tag titles and the world tag titles instead of the Raw tag titles and the SmackDown tag titles as they should have been.
Well, and the Rumble coming up is going to tell the tale. Because remember, when they had the brand split, is whoever won the Rumble got to pick which title they were going to go after. So then you started having, you know, Raw, at one time, Raw had the world title and the WWE title because the guy won it and he didn't change shows. Yeah, the title just went with him.
Well, you remember that Benoit for WrestleMania 20, he was in that storyline where Heyman told him he would never get another shot at the WWE title as long as he was on SmackDown. So Benoit wins the Rumble, challenges Triple H for the belt on Raw, and then never goes back to SmackDown. So then the WWE title, which got won by Brock Lesnar that year, was held by Eddie Guerrero that year. So when that happened, we ended up, what we could have seen would have been a title for title versus, Benoit versus Guerrero. Ended up seeing JBL. So could you imagine if Benoit had gone back to SmackDown, would JBL have ever become champ?
Well, I think that was the problem with the brand split. You
Yeah.
know? And that's the thing. Like, I like how they're keeping it separate.
Me too.
I think what you're going to see is if they keep it separate, I think you're going to see the world title go from the black leather to the blue leather.
I think so too, and I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna change it up, keep them separate. I like the fact that while there's one show on TV, the opposite program's on the road. They're doing a house show, like during Raw, SmackDown was in Madison Square Garden. So you may be hurting your audience initially, because I think you kind of do. Some people want to just know what's going on the other show, but I think you're also giving yourself a chance to continue to get revenue. So now on Monday nights, whereas you only had everybody in one town for one show, you're pulling in ticket sales, and now you're pulling in more merch. Now you're giving more people more opportunities to really get a feel for your program on both sides. So I really like it. I like what they're doing there. But let's get back into it. So I think we all agree, Asuka, top female for NXT. What about the top tag team in NXT? Now,
The Revival.
The
Revival. I think it's hard to point out another team with the exception of Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. With the exception of those two guys, consistent performance out of the NXT tag team division.
They're only two-time NXT champions.
Yep.
Have they been on TV lately?
No, there's a rumor, a rumbling, pun intended, that they may be getting the call up very soon, within the next 4 weeks.
I think them and Joe are about to go.
There was a lot of talk that Samoa Joe was going to be the guy that Cena came back to feud with, which
but it's still not out of the question, because if you think about it, it's AJ versus Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Well, AJ and Joe have a long-standing relationship from TNA. So what better way to keep the title on AJ
have Samoa Joe come
than
out.
have Samoa Joe come out
and
knock
help
down
AJ,
Cena.
right? And then you would have Cena Joe.
Cena Joe at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
God, that would be awesome. And we're not too far away from WrestleMania. WrestleMania 33. The early word right now is that Cena will face The Undertaker in what is being considered as The Undertaker's final match. I think that makes sense maybe 5 years ago for Cena to be the guy, because I think it would have been not necessarily a passing of the torch, but Cena was in a more active position. I think now it's a little too late for John Cena.
If you're going to do... I'm talking a lot, so I'm sorry. But I think, in my opinion, if you're going to do a passing of the torch with The Undertaker, and this is just my opinion, not the opinion of Corner to Corner or Beyond Ringside or Spreaker.com or anybody, but Baron Corbin. I think you have The Undertaker fight Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin pass the torch, because to me, they're building Baron Corbin's character.
Yeah.
He's following very much The Undertaker.
Hey, how about his showing on Tuesday night? Baron Corbin's first
main event
title shot and main event, and he did very well for himself. I was impressed.
Now, I mean, my little tangent, and then I'll shut up for a little while, is I'm getting tired of recycling the storylines. I'm getting tired of the recycling of the same characters. Like, the WWE Universe and the WWE roster are so deep with talent in different levels. Why, in God's name, do we have the same people every week? I mean, like, you could literally just still have everybody on the road, because you only use 5 people on TV.
Well, I mean, I think they've come out, they've stepped out of that mold somewhat with Bliss, world champ or women's champ.
Yeah. Hell of a match between her and Becky Lynch this past Tuesday, and her pulling off that. I don't know what she did with her arm. I don't know if she's double jointed.
She got to be double jointed.
It was ridiculous because it was bent all out of whack, and then all of a sudden she hits that DDT and she's fine. Like, haha, fooled you. Wait, your arm was broke. We saw it.
I mean, I agree. I like what they're doing with the Divas, the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
The women's division. I think it's great. I mean, it's the same
I think it's
thing.
a trust issue. I honestly think it's a trust issue with the talent and a disconnect from the audience. Because, again, you finally give Bray Wyatt a title he richly deserves. And how long did he hold it?
2 weeks.
But then their first outing on TV, was it?
Well, and
you got Dolph Ziggler,
yeah,
who just a few weeks ago was touting this whole, I got one thing I can't do. Oh my God, it's my last chance to beat The Miz. The Miz. And now he's going for a world title shot. We're going to take a break. And,
no,
we're not going to take a break.
So, but I mean, I think that's what there's a clear disconnect because what in the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt should have held them tag team titles forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So,
but I mean, look, the entire WWE universe, in my opinion, cannot stand Roman Reigns.
Mm.
But we continue every Monday night to get Roman Reigns shoved down our throats.
Mm.
And so,
singles, NXT.
NXT singles wrestling. Male. Bobby Roode.
You know, that was my first thought.